Who doesn't love Jackie Chan? It seems like absolutely everyone adores him. We know him as a global movie legend, a genius stunt choreographer, a director, and even a singer. But today, I want to invite you to look at a lesser-known side of his career. Let's take a trip down memory lane and see the mark Jackie Chan left on the video game industry. It all started at the dawn of home gaming back in 1983. The hit action movie Project A hit theaters, and just a year later, the Japanese company Pony Canyon released the first official Jackie Chan game for MSX home computers. And man, was it hardcore! The plot has you playing as Coast Guard Sergeant Dragon Ma, infiltrating a pirate king's cave. Gameplay-wise, it was a primitive beat-em-up, somewhat reminiscent of the cult classic Karateka. But the biggest pain for players wasn't the pirates. It was the endless swarms of pixelated bats. It also featured a brutal but canon mechanic. To finally finish off a downed enemy, you had to crouch and stab them with a knife. The developers carefully lifted this specific move straight from a scene in the movie. While players were suffering from the bats, another adaptation saw the light of day, this time for the movie Wheels on Meals. In Japan, the film was called Spartan X, and the arcade game of the same name referenced not only Jackie, but also Bruce Lee's Game of Death. In the West, the game was released as Kung Fu Master, and this wasn't just some run-of-the-mill arcade game. Historically, it's considered the grandfather of the entire beat-em-up genre. Its game designer was Takashi Nishiyama, the man who would create the legendary Street Fighter just a few years later. However, the marketing confusion got so bad that on different covers, the hero looked like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, or just some random guy. This face-swapping confusion couldn't last forever, and soon the actor got a proper, recognizable solo project. Riding the wave of the genre's popularity, Hudson released a platformer in 1990, Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. The plot was classic. An evil sorcerer kidnaps the hero's sister, and Jackie sets off to save her and all of China. The gameplay was a pleasant surprise. Jackie could not only throw punches, but also shoot chi energy, and to get upgrades, he had to punch jumping frogs. On the start screen, players were greeted by the actor's trademark smile. True, on the 8-bit NES, Jackie's face lost its famous nose, unlike the PC Engine version where the graphics were way better. But the Nintendo version had a cool bonus. The end credits rolled with bloopers, just like in Chan's movies. By the way, bootleggers frequently hacked this game and brazenly swapped Jackie out for a mustachioed plumber. In some regions, this hack was known as Mario 10. But while console pirates easily turned Jackie into a plumber, he decided to show up in person at the arcades. In 1995, the Japanese studio Kaneko sponsored the movie Thunderbolt, and in return got the rights to create the fighting game The Kung Fu Master Jackie Chan. For its time, it was a technological breakthrough. Developers digitized the real movements of Jackie and his personal stunt team. Visually, it looked a lot like Mortal Kombat, but there were no bloody fatalities, nor could there be. Jackie Chan has always been strictly against excessive violence. Later, an updated version called Fists of Fire was released, where Jackie himself appeared as the final boss in 3 different forms from his classic movies, Drunken Master, 5 Animal-Style Fighter, and Lion Dancer. In this re-release, the actors' versions finally became playable, but they still remained the kindest fighters on the roster. Fun fact, not too long ago, modders ripped the assets from this old fighting game and put them into a fan-made mashup called Mortal Kombat New Era, where you can make Chan perform all sorts of gory fatalities alongside babalities and friendships. However, the real breakthrough, and arguably the most important game of the actor's life, arrived with the 3D era. In the year 2000, an absolute hit was released exclusively for the first PlayStation, Jackie Chan Stunt Master. The game was developed by Radical Entertainment, the studio that would later become famous for the Prototype series. The story follows Jackie rescuing his kidnapped grandfather, and the developers managed to perfectly translate the actor's signature fighting style to the screen, especially the interactive environments. Jackie fought with brooms, frying pans, bounced off walls, and through tables. The game won players over with its incredible attention to detail. Chan personally participated in motion capture, lent the hero his facial expressions, and provided the voiceover himself. Golden dragons were scattered throughout the levels, and collecting them all unlocked a bonus location. And at the end of the game, we were traditionally treated to credits with virtual bloopers. Plus, you could find a video interview with the actor in the bonus materials. His success on the PlayStation happily coincided with another breakthrough for Chan, this time on television. In the early 2000s, the animated series Jackie Chan Adventures was massively popular. Naturally, games were made based on it. A 2001 Game Boy Advance title where you had to find scrolls of power, and an excellent action game for the PlayStation 2 in 2004. Visually, that PS2 game looked like a cartoon come to life, thanks to the trendy cel-shading technology of the time. The entire gameplay revolved around collecting magical talismans. The rabbit talisman gave you super speed, the dragon let you shoot fire, and so on. However, the hero wasn't voiced by Chan himself this time, but by his official voice impersonator, actor James Tsai. But as is often the case in show business, highs are followed by lows. In 2004, the movie Around the World in 80 Days flopped at the box office. The film didn't make back its budget and scored 2 Razzie nominations. That didn't stop them from releasing an action platformer based on it for the Game Boy Advance, though. Unlike previous projects, the developers didn't bother inventing any interesting mechanics. It ended up being a standard licensed game with basic jumping and punching. challenging, perfectly functional, but really nothing special. The next major project helped wash away the aftertaste of that failure. The fate of Kung Fu Panda in 2008 was much more successful. Jackie lent his voice to Master Monkey, the most cheerful member of the Furious Five. Video game adaptations came out almost immediately, and while Monkey was once again voiced by James C. in most versions, Jackie Chan personally recorded his lines for the game Legendary Warriors on Nintendo consoles. Jackie Chan's influence on video games doesn't stop at the projects where his face is plastered on the cover. If we look at indirect cameos, we can't forget the 1993 movie City Hunter. In it, Jackie's character hilariously transforms into fighters from Street Fighter, and his version of Chun-Li is just something else. Also in the 90s, Chan advertised an educational system back home from the Chinese company Subor. Essentially, it was a Famicom clone with a keyboard attached. Obviously, kids didn't care about studying, they wanted the game cartridges, but begging your parents for a console recommended by Jackie Chan himself was a piece of cake. You can also find the actor's name in the special thanks section of the credits for games like FX Fighter Turbo, the original Diablo, StarCraft, and even the Russian tactical game Jazz, Hired Guns. In 2005, Chan became the face of fitness games for the Japanese console Javik Sport, where his virtual assistant showed you how to do the exercises. And of course, his likeness still lives on today in unlicensed fighting games like the recent Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang. All these massive hits, weird bootlegs, and unexpected cameos prove one thing: the impressive legacy of his action comedies is going to stick around for a very long time. And it's only fitting to end this piece with words from Jackie himself. One day I will be old, but in a video game that won't happen. Today I will record my movements, my artistry, and my humor for a game. And maybe the kids who play it will remember me exactly like this.